So let me start by saying this. Some of you guys are all right. Don't watch YCSP on Sunday. To be honest, the video's not like, it's a hard watch, but there's no like nudity or like gay porn sex happening, so it's not like it's that horrible, but it is a difficult watch. I will describe it to you right now. So Glenn Greenwald is wearing like a little skirt and like I don't like some kind of like, it's almost like a Catboy costume or some shit like that, you know, dressed up like a little girl or something, and he's on his knees and he starts off, this black guy, I guess his husband, I don't know, he's like kissing his hand and then he starts like licking his foot. The guy is speaking derogatorily to him while he's doing it. So it's like a humiliation thing. It's like a weird humiliation fetish video. He then starts sucking on the guy's black toes. Then the black guy spits on the ground and Glenn Greenwald sucks up the spit off the ground. So yeah, you could say it's a little bit of a hard watch, but that's basically what happens. Now, this video is posted to some kind of Findom account that Glenn Greenwald follows for some reason. And then Glenn Greenwald on his big 2.2 million follower Twitter account retweets the video and then unretweets it shortly after. And then he put out this statement that we're going to get to. But one other detail from the video is that there is on the floor between Glenn and the guy is there appears to be what looks like might be try not to laugh at the rotting dogs chat, what might be a syringe or meth pipe or something like that. Again, it's hard to tell because of the quality of the video, but it appears that there could be drugs involved as well. Now, Glenn Greenwald says, last night videos were released online depicting behavior in my private life. I don't know about videos plural. I only saw the one. Knowing that there's more out there is kind of horrifying. Hopefully I'll die never seeing any more of these Glenn Greenwald videos. He says some were distorted and others were not. They were published without my knowledge or consent, and its publication was therefore criminal. Though we do not yet know exactly who is responsible, we are close to knowing, and the motive was a maliciously political one. This happened yesterday. Okay, this happened like last night. So how could you already know or be close to knowing when it's so hard to track these things? And also, how do you know the motive? These are questions to keep in mind as we keep going. As for the content of the videos, I have no embarrassment or regret about them. The videos depict consenting adults engaged in intimate actions in their private lives. They all display fully consensual behavior, harming nobody. Obviously, it can be uncomfortable and unpleasant when your private behavior is made public against your will. That's why the behavior is private in the first place. But the only wrongdoing here is the criminal and malicious publication of the videos in an attempt to malign perceived political enemies and advance a political agenda. Others are, of course, free to form their own judgments, as some are prone to do about others' private lives. It won't change my work. I will continue all the many prongs of my journalism and pursue the causes most important to me as exactly before. Now, Ubersoy makes like a really good point here. He says, you retweeted it on your account and you follow the account that posted it. So here's the account, Findom Faraz, and you see right here, followed by Glenn Greenwald. Findom is like a thing where like you make people give you money and you call them pathetic and weird shit like that. It's a weird sex thing. Ubersoy says, what happened was you paid a Findom to humiliate you, and part of the fetish was retweeting it to your audience. There's literally no other explanation for this. People buying this excuse are so funny. And you see here how Glenn Greenwald, a screenshot of how he had reposted this video on his Twitter. So I've given this some thought, and I have to agree with Ubersoy's conclusion. That's the only thing that makes sense, is that this is a weird humiliation fetish thing. The only, it wasn't an accidental retweet, right? So basically, this is either a humiliation fetish or his account was compromised. Somebody got access to his account in order to do the retweet against his will, which doesn't make sense. First of all, you would say that. You would say in your statement, you would say they gained illegal access to my account. And if they did, how did you get in there so fast and undo it within like minutes or what? I don't know exactly what the time frame was. I was not on Twitter when this whole thing went down. I just came on and saw the aftermath. But you see what I'm saying, right? It just doesn't make sense. It makes more sense that this is like a weird sex thing for him that he did on purpose because he's blasted out of his mind on meth and he just can't help himself. He has to take his weird shit to the next level. And this video is super fucking weird, in case anybody needs me to tell you that. And this is all gay people. There's no such thing as a normal gay. They all do this. So Lord Whiskey says, looks like the Rabbi Shmuley types leaked Glenn Greenwald's homosexual porno after likely trying to blackmail him into silence for his problematic coverage of the Gaza genocide. Just goes to show that they know that the sinful life of homosexuality is depraved and disgusting, yet ironically they will continue to push that perversion on American culture and children and only weaponize it when they see fit. It must have been painful for them to hand the Alphabet Mafia this loss, but to them, it's all for the greater cause of trying to silence Israel's critics and to help achieve the greater agenda. She's jumping to a lot of conclusions here. He never said anything about being blackmailed. Again, if that was happening, you would have thought that that was included in the statement because it makes you look good. If somebody tries to blackmail you and you refuse to be blackmailed and you just say, release the humiliating video, that like looks good. People are going to be like, yeah, way to go, man. They're going to support him even more than they already are, which, spoiler alert, massive people rallying to support Glenn Greenwald and stand with Glenn. Ian Carroll was also like laying into it's an Israeli blackmail op, right? So people want to kind of opportunistically take this and use it for their agenda. And, you know, I agree with that particular agenda, but I think you're jumping to conclusions that you can't really reach based off of the evidence that we have. Glenn Greenwald also goes hard on the Brazilian left-wing government. And so he could be targeted just as easily for that. And I really don't think we should rule out that nobody is targeting Glenn Greenwald and he's just a freaky perverted degen. Martyrmaid similarly says whether or not someone falls for the Greenwald character assassination op is an important and valid litmus test. How is it character assassination when he, in his statement that he put out, his public statement, he's like, I did nothing wrong. His statement is basically, yeah, that's how I get down. What? Problem? My black lover spits on the ground and then I suck it up. That's just how I get down and I regret nothing. What I do is my problem. What? How is that character assassination? Doesn't character assassination imply some kind of slander or defamation that isn't true? Candace Owen says, I said this on my last show ahead of maternity leave, but would like to reiterate here, Glenn Greenwald is one of the most important and honest voices of our time. Everyone should follow and support his journalism. You can subscribe to his channel here. Very Christian, by the way. We're gonna reward degens for their disgusting perversion by celebrating them and recommending them to people. Some of y'all need to revisit your Bible a little bit. Now, I replied to this statement here and I said, whatever the Brazilian equivalent of CPS is needs to drug test you immediately, because this appears to be the behavior of a man who is using hard drugs and who has lost the plot and is like reached such a level of degeneracy that he wants to burn down his own reputation just because he thinks it's hot to humiliate himself, like really deep down the chemsex meth-fueled rabbit hole, basically. And he has kids. I'm saying, if this guy's on meth, he probably shouldn't have kids. I mean, I don't think gay people should have kids to begin with. And the video, this video is why. Like, that's enough reason for me. But I know we live in a clown libtard world where people think that's fine for consenting adults to do that. So what if he's like out of his mind on meth or crack? Should he still have kids then? Apparently, yes. Apparently, yes, if you're a Lolbert. So here's his 2 kids. This must be his dead husband. Oof, L post. Wow, didn't think I would be blocking this account, but here we are. Right, again, so this is because I said whoever's in charge of child protection in Brazil should make sure that you are not out of your mind. And this guy's like, oh, I have to block you. Why? Worried I'm going to find out you're also a negligent parent? What the fuck did you just say, you cunt? Womp womp. You're trying to have his kids removed? You people really are sick. Really damn sick. Look at this bootlicker. 9 likes on that one. Yeah, bootlicker, dude. Like I said, I'm the one who knocks. Give me the boots. What, you know, the right-wing death squad meme with from that movie, the Jin Wolf, whatever it is, that like anime thing with the flamethrowers? I'll polish the flamethrowers, okay? I'll make sure they're all shiny and looking cool as hell when they show up to purge the degeneracy that I've witnessed. I love it, bootlicker. How are you not just Antifa? You know what I mean? The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing people that there's anything remotely right-wing about being a Lolbertarian. I have more sympathy for shit libs than Lolberts because the amount of propaganda that goes into producing a shit lib, the amount of money that Hollywood and energy that they put into to propagandize you, to brainwash you, to turn you into a shit lib is insane. They put insane amounts of time and energy and money. Turning somebody into a Lolbert just requires you to like them to be kind of stupid and naive. And you just say, hey man, what if like people did whatever they want, but without hurting anyone? And you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense because I am a child who has no idea how the world works. So yes, everybody just do whatever you want as long as you're not hurting it. Perfect. Brilliant. Fucking brilliant. So I really can't stand Lolberts. You know, for some people, it's a phase you got to go through until you fucking actually figure out how the world works. And that is what it is. But I just like, if you're, you know, I just have so much contempt for this. You sound like you work for Israel. You a Jew. I never realized you were a Jew. Of course, Glenn Greenwald is Jewish. He's a gay Jew, actual Jew, not me. I'm not a Jew, but Glenn Greenwald is. And the reason people are saying this shit is because of this Lauren Witzke, narrative that this is, you know, if we don't accept gay humiliation chemsex on the timeline, that's how Israel wins. Hey, man. You have to be down with gay chemsex on your timeline and gay people adopting kids and doing God knows what to the children. Otherwise, Israel wins and you're a Jew. This is as close as I'm going to get to playing it.
É assim. Beija no pé. Beija. Beija. Beija, viadinho, caralho. Não! Yeah! Jesus!
If this isn't your reaction, if this isn't your genuine reaction to seeing some shit like that, you do not have nearly enough hate in your heart. Hey, Lolberts, listen. If you want to restore and preserve a world like what America used to be, if you want to make America great again, you can have based white utopia world, or you can have Glenn Greenwald, okay? You can't have both. You have to choose. You can't have both of those things. So you decide which one's it gonna be. Hey, what up, family? I'm a ding dong. It is I, your boy LP, and the clip you just watched is from my live stream show, The Daily Cope, which I do 4 to 5 times a week on Rumble, Odyssey, and my other YouTube channel. I will link all of them below if you want to check it out. And thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great day, and I will catch you on the flip side. Peace out.